coming up on Fargo, North Dakota, and the goal is the Heritage Center, which is a museum complex, a fairly large one, in Bismark, North Dakota. I'm passing a lug sign here where the gas is $3.69, which is far lower than we've seen. At $3.89 was the lowest we've seen. And we probably averaged about $4.30 overall on this trip. But we have 197 miles to go till we get to the Heritage Center in Bismarck. We're at the North Dakota Heritage Center in Bismarck. And we're about to enter it. It's a big place. Should be good. At the entrance, there is a mastodon. This whole area, which I'm going to find more about, I have read about it, is a big area for fossils of a lot of different ages. So I'm looking forward to this, along with a few of the other museums that are connected to it, which have to do with historical aspects. So this is cool. This first gallery, one of many, is called the Adaptation Gallery. So I imagine it's very evolutionary in nature. It would appear that this is a glacial area, but it's very flat, because even though the glaciers retreated and cut things out, they left large areas of water, which had a lot of sediment, which eventually settled and made the flatlands, which is where all this good growing soil comes from. Okay, folks, go stand over there, Joyce, for perspective. That is a turtle. This is Joyce. That's a turtle. Okay. Look at the appendages. Look at the head. Look at the shell. That is amazing. And this is a sword ray. It's a predatory fish. Looks to be about 20 feet long. And very Jurassic Park looking. I haven't looked at the placard yet, but that has to be a T-Rex, I would imagine.
It's a T-Rex.
It does say T-Rex on it? Yeah. I can't imagine what else it would be. It looks just like it does in the movies. Of course, where you have T-Rex, you have the traditional Triceratops, because they're often depicted in movies as fighting each other. And this is Dromaeosaurus, about the size of a large dog. Again, very Jurassic Park-like. And of course, any dinosaur exhibit isn't complete without the evolution of birds. They have a lot better animations now. This must be old. And this is an animal that is a close relative of today's bears. But look how tiny he is. This is cool. Various evolutionary skeletons having to do with horses. They have a Cold War nuclear missile silo exhibit. I guess they had a lot of them here in the Midwest. We spent 3 hours there, too much to show anything more. Well, we're slumming it today. We're at another Cracker Barrel, and it's 93 degrees, but there's a wind that's blowing through the camper, so it's pretty comfortable. Another camper back there. There were no campgrounds in the area after we got out of the Heritage Museum, and there was no boondocking anywhere except for this urban boondocking. So this will do for now. Joyce says fine. And tomorrow we have some really nice choices and a couple hours driving for boondocking in Montana. So I'm really kind of looking forward to that. For now, this is where we're at today. Grasslands National Park in North Dakota. We drove up a long dirt road to a series of dispersed land camping areas, and they are designated areas, so it's not just out in the middle of nowhere, even though it looks like it. We drove up to a very high spot in the prairie, if you can call it high, and this is the National Prairie, or Prairie National Park in the Badlands. Those are painted rocks over there, like the Badlands, like they have. And we are up where the cell towers are. Highest point around. Dispersed camping, free. It's in the Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, like I said. It looks very much like the South Dakota Badlands, if you've ever been through them. Except I don't think there's a road through them like there is there. It's really wilderness, and compared to where I come from, where you can't reach out with your left to right hand and not touch a 125-foot pine tree, this is open, and it's a different feeling if you're not used to it. Just like I would imagine people who've come from this area might feel enclosed by forests that you can't see through after 50 feet because they're so thick. It's breezy. We're expecting up to 40-mile-an-hour gusts this evening. My watch says the gusts will come from the south and then southwest by morning. So I parked the camper in the south-north orientation to hopefully most of the wind won't hit the side of the camper. It'll be from the rear. I should have pointed it into it, but then again, the view would have been the wrong way. So, little compromises, I guess. And it is later in the afternoon, and that is what is coming up from the south. It is majestic, and it's headed this way. It certainly is beautiful. And terrifying at the same time. Emergency Weather Service says it's traveling to the northeast, and the northeast is the front of the camper. You can see that the bushes out there, but the wind is coming up a lot. Okay, hail. Yeah, they said it could be big enough to cause damage. About the size of marbles. Oh crap. Well, the viewers get to ride out a hailstorm with us. This is very exciting. So far, we hope. Very cool looking clouds with the storm at its base out there. Oh boy, they're coming at us from three different directions. Here's the back of the camper. There's one out there. There's one right there. And there's one in that direction. Seem to have survived in one piece. We have a couple of neighbors, and the sun is rising. It was very windy last night, and the reason that we didn't feel it as much as we could have, as we got buffeted, was that I realized that the wind would be coming from the south, using my weather app. So I pointed the vehicle and the trailer in north-south, so the wind would hit us from the end instead of from the side. And the other reason that we didn't notice it as much is because of these. These stabilizers are cranked down to the ground. They're 6,000 pound rated, so I could really push them down, and it'll actually jack the vehicle off the ground if I want to. And really stabilizes. For those of you who have small campers, you don't have to put the stabilizers on all the corners. When you think about it, the only place that the camper moves is at the suspension. If you immobilize the suspension, the camper can't move. So one side, I have it on the other side, and it can't move at all. If you have it connected to the vehicle, even more so, or if you have a good solid stabilizer on the front. And this is one I added. The original was one of those little metal ones with the wheels. This, when it's off the tow vehicle, really helps it stabilize also. So this 3-point stand makes it really rock solid. Here it is up and in its stowed travel position. Tomorrow we are going to travel through North Dakota, going a little bit north in North Dakota. Right now we're kind of in the south central area of it. And we're going to head into Montana and eventually cross the border and go to a place called Loon Pond Camping. And it's a provincial park campsite. And I believe it's the same one we went to in 2010 when we took our first big loop tour. I just remember there being a turquoise lake surrounded by mountains that was snow-capped. And in the evening, it was so clear and so free of light pollution that the stars actually lit up the snow on the mountains. That is our goal. That right now is 11 hours away driving. So we need to leave at least 12 hours or more. So I think it'll be, we don't want to travel more than 3 hours a day. That's, you get sick of doing this if you push it too much. So, it's going to take 3 nights anyways until we get there. And then when we do get there, we may spend a couple of nights, because I remember just how otherworldly it was to be there. It made you think about a lot of things when you sat there out there looking at it. It's my favorite national park, Glacier, but the water-turned side of it, which is where it jumps into Canada. Waterton Park is the Canada component of Glacier, which is on the southern border. Is just spectacular. So that is the goal from there, we will be, up in Canada, but also well into the west as far as Montana. It'll be time to turn around because we'll have a little over a week to get home, week and a half, and then we have the Jenny Brook Bluegrass Festival a couple of days later in Vermont, and that is a 6-day camping trip with a lot of bluegrass music, good food, the best lobster rolls I ever had, and I'm from Maine. And we're looking forward to that. Damn, this is amazing. Here, let me turn the camera around and show you. So, Joyce,
Yes.
you ready to make the push towards the Waterton side of Glacier National Park in Canada?
Sure.
It's only 11 hours away.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take a few days.
Yeah.
But
I think so.
Yeah, we'll be leaving this beautiful place. And as Willie Nelson says, on the road again.
Yeah. That's true.